Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you all for attending today to help celebrate the great day and to launch the Toyota Born Learning Academy. You know, my name is Doug Eberhardt. I'm the president of United Way of Kentucky, but also the grants administrator for the Toyota Born Learning Academy. United Way of Kentucky works very closely with David Ross, the president of United Way of the Ohio Valley, and his team to serve this community. You know, United Way of Ohio Valley is an independent, locally run organization governed by volunteers who live and work right here in this community. In partnership with United Way of Kentucky and the other United Ways across the state, we're working to advance the common good for all. You know, I'd like to share a little history about the Academy. It was first established through the combined efforts of the United Way of Greater Cincinnati, Success by Six, and the Kenton County School System located in northern Kentucky. It was because of their leadership, perseverance, and partnership with Northern Kentucky University and their many volunteers that the Academy was first developed. You know, 2 years ago, the vision was created to take this initiative statewide, to offer the same opportunities to parents and children throughout the Commonwealth. So a collaboration was developed, and that collaboration included the aforementioned Success by 16 from United Way of Greater Cincinnati, Kenton County School System, primarily the retired superintendent Tim Hanner, the Pritchard Committee for Academic Excellence, the Cabinet for Health and Family Services, Division of Family Resources and Youth Services Center, the Governor's Office of Early Childhood, and United Way of Kentucky. It was because of this combined partnership that we're able to extend grants out. And your school is one of 12 schools this year across the state who received a Toyota Born Learning Academy grant. Receiving this grant means your school's leadership and staff went above and beyond to create new opportunities to ensure that children have the necessary resources to enter kindergarten ready to succeed. You know, they looked beyond the traditional model, and they recognized that early learning opportunities are a critical component to the healthy development of our children and their success in life. And now it is my pleasure to introduce one of your visionary school leaders, Dr. Nicholas Brake, your superintendent. Please join me to the podium.
Thanks, Doug. Well, it sure is a great day, and I want to begin by thanking the United Way. The United Way, no matter how dreary the day, always seems to provide sunshine everywhere we go. Doug and my good friend David Ross, as well as Toyota, for creating this partnership that will affect generations to come. What a great opportunity for us. I'd also like to recognize and thank the Pritchard Committee for Academic Excellence. I think we have two members of the Pritchard Committee in the audience, Helen Mountjoy and Keith Sanders. And Rodney, Rodney used to be on the Pritchard Committee, but we certainly appreciate their efforts in this as well. Having this best practice model here at Foust Elementary School means that we can offer Owensboro area parents, caregivers, access to hands-on training and strategies that they can use every day as children arrive, or even before children arrive, kindergarten, ready to learn. By offering the workshops that are part of this grant before children even enter school, students avoid having to play catch-up right from the start, and they have a much better chance of success throughout their years here in the Owensboro Public Schools. We hope that this will touch every family with children entering our school district through the program, which, save the date, launches on Tuesday, October 15th at 5:30 p.m. And you couldn't have picked a better school. Doug talked about a staff and a school that goes above and beyond. Foust Elementary is a school with a long history of partnership within this neighborhood community, and it will be successful here because it is well led. Jamie Mosley, who you'll hear from in a minute, the principal, and Chris Covington, our family resource director, along with the staff, has a history, and I've seen it firsthand just in the last few months, of going above and beyond and serving the students in this community in a very committed and passionate way. I also want to recognize our neighbors, part of our school system, the Hager Preschool. And of course, Larry Hager, one of the namesakes of that school, has joined us today, and we're so glad to see you here today, Larry, and our partners, Audubon area. And I think Sherry and several of the staff of Hager Preschool are here. And lastly, I want to recognize and thank our Board of Education. We have several members here Nancy Eskridge, our chair. John Blaney is our vice chair. Where's John? I see him. I saw him somewhere. And Dan Griffith is here. And then also Steve Knight and Kate Lozon. They truly understand that investments in early childhood education are the single best investment you can make with public dollars. They are committed to this program, and most importantly, they are very committed to early learning for the students in this school district, in this community. Thanks again to all involved, and have a beautiful sunshiny day here with our partners as we launch this program.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce a woman who is truly passionate about early childhood education and truly passionate about engaging statewide, engaging the community. She works for Toyota Motor Manufacturing Company, but her life and time and volunteerism is dealing with giving back to the community. I have the great pleasure, she's not only a tremendous volunteer and representative for Toyota, but she's also my boss. She's the board chair of United Way of Kentucky. And so many of you have already preempted to say nice things about me to her after this meeting. I greatly appreciate that. And so, but truly, she is a lady who walks the walk, talks the talk, and truly puts herself out there to make a difference in the lives of people. And I'm truly blessed, and we are truly blessed as a state, to have Miss Helen Carroll from Toyota.
Well, I wasn't made for podiums, as you can tell. Put this down just a little bit, but I think y'all can probably hear me okay. Well, good morning. It's great to be in Owensboro. Nice drive down this morning from Northern Kentucky. My office is in Northern Kentucky at the manufacturing headquarters, and with me from Toyota today is Paula Stewart. And you definitely want to shake Paula's hand because she's on the contributions committee, and they had the final say-so on the dollars for Born Learning Academy. So make sure you shake Paula's hand before she leaves.
Thank you.
It is great to be here today celebrating the beginning of a program that promises to impact this community for years to come. I'm really very proud that Toyota and United Way are strong partners for Toyota Born Learning Academies. I've gotten to know David Ross over the years and on the United Way of Kentucky board, and I have to tell you, it's always a treat, and it's always very interesting what our board meetings are like. And if you know David, you probably know what I'm talking about. You know, when Toyota came to Kentucky more than 25 years ago now, we didn't want to just make cars. Our intent was to become a part of the fabric of the community. We wanted to make a difference, not just in the automotive industry, not just in the manufacturing world, but in the lives of fellow Kentuckians. And when Paula and I reflect on the past 2.5 decades of Toyota in Kentucky, I think we're pretty proud to say that we've made good on that promise by contributing now more than $55 million in donations across the state of Kentucky during those years, and literally hundreds of thousands of volunteer hours. But I can also tell you that we were thinking ahead. As we were celebrating 25 years a couple of years ago, we were thinking ahead and asking ourselves, what kind of difference could we make over the next 25 years? Toyota is here today because we share the conviction that the future success of Kentucky depends on the investment we make in our children today. And Toyota Born Learning Academies are investments in our youngest children. We believe this program will make a difference in the lives of thousands of youngsters across Kentucky, one that will connect them to learning experiences in their most formative years and create a foundation for a bright academic future. The research is clear. When children start school behind, they stay behind. What we are doing here today is changing the mold. We're giving kids an opportunity to get ahead before they even get to the classroom, to learn how to learn before they even enter school, so they can continue learning throughout school and for the rest of their lives. I just came back from a conference in Atlanta where I went down and presented to a business leaders conference around education, totally business leaders, and I presented Toyota Born Learning Academies. But I learned there are all kinds of things going on across the U.S. related to parent engagement, parent training, things I was not aware of. So the message is getting out there. We've got to focus on early childhood. So we are here, as Doug said, to officially launch a Toyota Born Learning Academy at Foust Elementary. And as Doug said earlier, Foust is one of 12 new Toyota Born Learning Academies that Toyota is funding across the state during this school year. With the addition of Foust, Toyota Born Learning Academies are now in 21 schools across the state, and an additional 10 in northern Kentucky where this program began 6 years ago. So if you look across at the map here, and you can see these are the state programs. Northern Kentucky is sort of separate, but these are our state Toyota Born Learning Academies, and the 2012 red communities are what we announced and did last year and are continuing this year, and then the blue are our new schools, including Foust. The Academy here will give parents and caregivers tools that they can use every day to transform moments into educational opportunities. We provide a support system for parents as they prepare their children to start school, and to provide the opportunity for school leaders to get to know the families of incoming students and their needs. And that's the difference I saw in this program and other programs that I saw in Atlanta. The parent engagement, the parent support piece of coming in the school and getting to know these parents before they come to school. We've begun seeing the impact of this program in communities across the state. Imagine the impact as we'll add 10 to 15 new Toyota Born Learning Academies each year for the next few years. When it comes to building quality communities, like building quality vehicles, of course, everyone has a role to play. Business, community leaders, nonprofits, and citizens, both adults and children. And what's happening with the launch of the Toyota Born Learning Academy here at Foust Elementary, a commitment from Toyota, United Way, Owensboro Independent School District, this school, and area teachers and parents to help support Owensboro as a community looking for new ways to help Kentucky's children prepare for kindergarten. So with that, I'd like to ask Doug to come back up here, David, Dr. Brake, Chris, and Janie. I'm going to step out here in front with you guys, if you all could step out here.
Step in front of the podium. There you go.
So on behalf of 8,500 team members, Toyota team members in Kentucky, I'm proud to present Foust Elementary with a check, a big check, for $11,500 for Toyota Born Learning Academy here in Owensboro.
All right.
Chris, can you type this?
Thank you so much for your
Oh,
commitment
thank
to this
you.
program.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Move my notes here. Is that yours?
You know, that's what makes David so good, is he knows exactly who to hug at the right time. Yeah, I love it. It's now my pleasure. You know, I have had the opportunity to go all over the state and launch Toyota Born Learning. And the beautiful part that I get to enjoy is walking into each elementary school and understanding the atmosphere of what's going on. And looking at how you're greeted when you come into the school and what's transitioning. Today you walk in, you're greeted with a smiling face at the front door. You have an atmosphere of openness and welcome. You see children walking down the hall in lab coats and really enjoying themselves with smiles on their face. And it all comes from the leadership and from teachers. And when I was talking to the principal, and she said, you know, one of the great things they have is a great deal of parent support. And that, again, comes back because teachers are allowing that to happen. The leadership's encouraging that support. And that just bodes well as reason why they applied for the Toyota Born Learning Academy grant, because they want to get engaged, they want to be involved. And so now it's my pleasure to introduce your principal, Ms. Janie Mosley, to the podium.
Thank you all for being here this afternoon. It's not every day we have such a great crowd of visitors here, but it is every day that we have a strong dedication to learning and to early childhood development and support for families. I want to start by once again just saying thank you for everybody who came out today. Existing partnership with United Way in this community, I appreciate so much, and I appreciate your presence here today. Also, the Hager Preschool and the Hager Foundation in Audubon area, we are already partners with those people in helping develop those early childhood experiences for students and developing strong relationships with our families. And so thanks to Toyota. We are now able to do that in a new capacity with some new resources. So we really, really do appreciate that and find this just a really exciting and valuable opportunity for us. I'd like to start by also thanking our district level support that has helped us make that happen. Dr. Brake, Lisa McCarty, Tanya Barr, who serves as the Family Resource Director at the Owensboro Middle School, will be working in partnership with us to help us target and our families. Also, Chris Covington, he is our Foust Family Resource Director. Because of his generous nature, he allowed me to do all the talking today, and so I do appreciate that. But he will actually be facilitating the programs, the evening programs for this initiative. I have to say that just in looking at the curriculum, it is exciting. It's exciting for me as a parent to hear that information, and as an educator in my role here at Foust. The topics are things that all parents can use, and is so important for planting those seeds of strong family foundation and readiness for school. There's a session about building relationships. There's sessions about building good routines at home, nutrition. There's sessions about helping students get ready for reading. There's so many language-based things that parents do that help students be ready for school and for reading. Here at Foust, we have a strong commitment to making sure that every child is able to read on grade level when they leave here. That's one of our strongest commitments, and I feel like that all of that stems from a foundation of language and support in the home. So there is a session devoted strictly to that. Also sessions just about understanding how students learn, how children learn and develop, and how everyday experiences are those valuable opportunities. It's not the 6 hours a day that they're at school, it's the minute-to-minute interactions within the home that make all the difference in the world. So I feel like that the curriculum is strong and valuable. The format of the program also is excellent. It involves families coming here with their children and enjoying a meal, a family-style meal together, and that's important for a strong family foundation. They do that. Then there is quality child care for the children while the adults are in here with Chris learning about the background and the topic for that evening. Then following that time, the families come back together, the children come back with their parents and have a time where they practice whatever the activity or the strategy is that's been worked on during that evening. So that in itself is just a really strong format for the program. So I appreciate the well-structured nature of the program itself, and I'll just look forward to seeing that come to fruition here. As we said before, the first actual meeting is October the 1st. That's a meet and greet session for the families that we've invited to attend, and the first learning date is October the 15th at 5:30. Then there is a session each month for the following 5 months, so 6 sessions total, and that would be an ongoing thing, the same families hopefully coming back for all of those sessions, and then a closing ceremony at the end, kind of a graduation, if you will. So again, we're just so excited to have this program here. We think it will just add to our existing commitment to building strong relationships with families even before they come here to school. So we just couldn't be more excited, and I agree that you couldn't have chosen a better school to have this, because we just have such a strong commitment to working with our families and that commitment to literacy. So thank you again for your support, all of you, and thank you to Toyota for giving us the resources that we need to do this.
Working in partnership with the local United Ways, I get to see a lot of different skill sets and a lot of different things that are happening. The one thing that you have in David Ross as President of United Way Ohio Valley is you've got an ambassador for your region and for your community. And you cannot ask for somebody better to go out and speak about the wonderful things that are happening in your community. He is continuously and constantly bragging about the many wonderful things happening here, and his United Way reflects that. You've got a United Way that is proactive but maintains and values the traditions of your community. He goes out every day, he and his staff, and works hard to make sure that services are provided for those in need, and and really looks for opportunities to make sure that people are convening together, partnerships are developed, and that the resources are there for people when they need them. And so that is the type of leader that you have today. And I'm proud to call him my friend and my mentor, Mr. David Ross.
And yes, as you might imagine, I'm on the committee that evaluates Doug, and I think we'll be meeting tomorrow afternoon. They scripted me, but as those of you who know me know that I accidentally left my script at the office, so therefore I can wing it, and I want to do that today. First of all, there's some folks in the community that I want you to know, Helen and Paula. We've got members of the United Way agencies here. We've got members from the United Way Board of Directors. We've got teachers. We've got the United Way staff. And I am thankful for them being here today. So I hope to meet Helen and hug Paula. And we're going to start in just a second, the Hug Paula team. Also, Nancy, you and the school district, you and the school board, I really want to compliment you on the vision that you had to hire Dr. Nick Brake into the position he's in. When we talked about a partnership with Toyota, it dovetailed perfectly with Nick's background in economic development for Nick to be leading the school district that provides education so that people can get better jobs and be prepared to enter the workforce. It is a perfect time in our community, and we have never been set in a better position to move forward. So I hope that this is the beginning of a long relationship with Toyota, and I hope we can bring some other folks into the table as well. To lead off our hug team, I would be remiss in saying, and Rick Freeman, you might as well stand up because you're on it. Helen and Paula, you work every day at making these cars, and you make a good product. But you're only as good as the face of your product in our community. And I am very thankful that today we have Don Moore, we have Tab Quisenberry, and we have Rick Freeman, who they don't know it yet, but they're going to lead the hug team for you. So you need to bump it up out there a little bit. So, see, another reason they're on the hug team. So also, I want to give a personal and professional thank you to Suzanne Miles for being here representing Congressman Guthrie's office. Suzanne is one of those behind-the-scenes people in our community who could literally work in agribusiness anywhere in the United States and in most countries in the world, but she chooses to humbly stay here and serve her community. And Suzanne, I thank you for being here and for your support for these programs, the school districts, and what you do. Very much appreciated. You know, if you came in from the back of the school district today, or the building today, you noticed something that said Hager Preschool. And I'd like to just introduce and make sure that you know a little bit about a couple of guys in our community that have been giants to help us move forward. And I'm not going to go long, but there are two brothers, John and Larry Hager, that have devoted their lives to our community. And John started the Public Life Foundation, and with the support of Rodney Berry, his president. I see Susie Alford in the back. Is Sally here? Okay, I knew she was going to try to get here. But together, what they have done is they have helped us as a community realize that we truly have a voice in our community and that our voice matters. That we can convene together as a group of citizens who, when we feel strongly about something, we can actually get action. They have changed the DNA of our community. And Rodney and the Public Life Foundation, Susie, I want to thank you for your work in doing that. Appreciate it very much. There's another part of the, and I know I'm off script, but it doesn't really matter. There is another part of the Hager duo, and that is the Hager Foundation, or I call it the Hager Educational Foundation, led by Keith Sanders, who has been He has stood in my chair, in my seat, or actually he can't stand in the seat. He stood in my shoes as a director of the United Way. But his passion has been education, and he has worked alongside Mr. Hager in helping develop programs like this, and his work has just been phenomenal. But I want to tell you just a short story. A few years ago, I was talking to Sally Hager Wood, and we were talking about her dad and her uncle. And she made what I think is probably is a very insightful comment. She said, people respect my dad, but the community loves my Uncle Larry. And I want to tell you that as one who loves this man, we truly do. He has put forth his life to help people in need. He could be living on any beach in the world without a care in the world, but he chooses to be here and to fight the fight and to continue to push forward causes of education and the health of our community. At a young age of about 90, I talked to Frankie, his wife, the other day, and I said, "How is Larry doing?" And she said, "Well, he's still at work." And I said, "Do you ever have plans for him to retire?" And she said, "Yes, but I think I'm going to give him about another 10 years, and then we're going to let him retire then." I believe something to be true with Mr. Hager, and that is I believe that every time his heart beats, a child smiles in our community. And so it is with that sentiment that I want to thank Toyota. I want to thank the school district. Thank you, Nick, the people at Foust, and I want to thank the community for pulling together to make events like this possible. So with that, am I the end?
Definitely.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Guys, if you three will come hug Paula, we're going to get the hug line going. And thank you so much for being here today. We very much appreciate it. Paula, they're coming. So.